Hello everyone. In this video, we're gonna see about list in that language. I have covered what are all the essential things we need to learn about the list in that. Okay? Yeah, come on. Create one project list app. Okay, in a Dart project, not a Flutter project. And inside the void main function, we're gonna return a Dart code. First, in general, we need to find what is the syntax of the list. Okay? As we see in data types, the list syntax is also similar to that. Okay, first the list and any variable name. Okay, is equal to the list values. The list value should be inside the square brackets. So you need to have some conscious in this. Okay, in this square brackets, you can add more values. Okay, and also you can specify the type. What kind of type is that list is? Okay, for example, let me tell you, if I put integers list, I need to mention the list type here. Okay, if it is a string, you need to mention, and if it is a dynamic, you can put dynamic as a keyword, but you can mention any values like string, integer, or boolean value. You can mix anything if the list is dynamic, but that is not recommended. We need to create a list with the perfect values. Okay, with the similar data types. So this is how we will create our list. So let us go. First, list and list box is equal to the square brackets. Inside the brackets, just put some common values. Okay, like let me put 5, 8, 9, however you wish. Okay, so this is the initial step to declare a list data type. Okay, a list data type and a list box, which is a variable name, and the value, which should be inside the square brackets. So you need to have a clear understanding in this point. So if you know the types, whatever inside this particular list has the common type, you can mention the type here. Int or any other things. Okay, if you put string, inside this particular square brackets, everything should be a string. Okay, if you put dynamic, inside the square bracket, anything you put that is acceptable because this is dynamic according to the data type. The dynamic instance, it will accept any data types. Okay, so let me put it as integer so that we were able to perform some operations related to integer. Okay, now I have 3 values in my list. So let me introduce a basic properties. Okay, like I'm printing this list first. List box. Let us check what will be in the console. Just press F5 or go to this run and click on here. Okay. So the output will get run here. Yes. The basic thing is we can get the length of that particular list. How many items were there, it doesn't matter. We can get actual length by placing a dot over here. Length. Okay. So again I'm pressing F5. I will get 3 because I'm having 3 elements in one list. Okay, so another one is empty or is not empty, which means it will provide a boolean. Okay, is empty in sense if the particular list is empty or not. Okay, actually we have some value here. So the list is not empty. So we will get a boolean of false. Okay, let us run again. Here we have false. Okay, so if the particular list is empty, actually, then I will get a boolean of true because the list is actually empty now. So is empty or is not empty, we will use these two things in regular. Okay, so just have some consent here. Okay, so if I have some value here, And I can also check if the particular list is not empty, right? Likewise. Okay, again I'm pressing F5. I will get true because the list is not empty. Okay, so you have some concern here, and you can also get the first and last values. This is the very basic properties. Okay, so now I'm trying to print first, so I will get the first value. I'm changing this particular thing to 89 as a last value. Okay, so I'm running again. So I will get 5, which is a part of a first value. Okay, then last, which provide the last value. Again F5. Okay, so I'm getting the last value of the list. So if I print reverse, it will totally reverse that particular list. Okay, let me try. F5 again. So the list is like a reversed one, 89, 4 and 5. Okay, so these are all the very basic functions, which means not a function, it's the properties, basic properties where we are used in our real-time project regularly. Okay, this net is empty and is not empty, and the length, these three things where we use in regular. Okay, so have some concern about it. So now we're gonna see about changeable things. Okay, for example, the basic functions. Okay, so now if we have a list, okay, we can add another items or elements to that particular list. For example, let me print that list first. List box. Then above, the first function is listbox.add. Add instance, we can add some element to that particular list. For example, let me add 100 to that list. Okay, the 100 will get added to that list first. So I'm running this project now, F5. So we will get the list with the extra value of 100. With the add function, we were able to add one value, even it is any data type. Okay, we were able to add one value. Okay, so if we have add all property, this particular add all property will add more values to it. For example, let me type 14, 15, 17. Likewise, in add all, we can able to add more values into that particular list. For example, let me run again. Okay, so with add property, we were able to add one thing, and with add all property, we were able to add so many things. This represent in a text field, if we type something and if we click enter, that particular text value will enter into that any list. Okay, but if you consider a checkbox, we can select multiple checkboxes, right? So the multiple values can add it to one list. So that this is a basic example when we come to a real-time on-screen presentation. Okay, so we can also clear whatever we added, like the particular list variable name dot clear. Okay, with the help of this, we were able to clear everything from the list. Okay, so again F5. So I won't get anything because I have cleared every data. So the list will be an empty thing. Okay, so you have some concern about it. So let us see the another property. I'm clearing this particular thing so that we were able to get some value from that list. Okay, so the next property is remove. We were able to remove anything from that thing. For example, let me tell you, list box dot remove that particular elements 14 or anything you wish. Okay, for example, let me print it first and then print again. List box semicolon. Okay, here let me run this. Here we have all datas, right? So in this point, I have removed 14 from there. So it will totally get removed. This is the actual list after removed. Okay, this particular remove will remove the one content. For example, here we have 14, right? Let me type another 14 here. So list can contain a duplicate values. So you can have a duplicate value in list, but in set we can't have a duplicate values. Okay, I'm running this F5. So see, we have two 14s, but it's removed the first 14. So with this remove, we were able to remove the first one, it's fines. Okay, then we have remove last. Remove last instance, it will remove the last element of that list. For example, let me run this. We have 14 in our list, right? So it will remove the last anything. Even it is 100, even it is 101, whatever. It will remove the last element of that list, which means the last remove last. Okay, then we have remove range. Remove range instance within the index, it will remove the contents. Remove range, and we need to specify from which index to from which index. I'm specifying from 1 to 4. Okay, then I'm running this content, and from the first index instance, the 4. Okay, from 4 to the index 15, right? It will remove until the 15, but it won't take 15. So let me explain the index concept. Okay, how many widgets we have, how many elements we have doesn't matter. Okay, the index will start with 0. Okay, if the 5 is in the index of 0, the 4 is in the index of 1, and 2 is in the index of 2. Okay, so 89 is an index of 2. Okay, the index will start with 0 to the so long. So if you want to get any elements from that list, you can access with the help of the index. Okay, so you need to have some clear understanding in this point. In a list, every index starts with 0. Okay, in the 0th place, you will put your first element. Okay, so let me explain with the better concept. Okay, so we have 4 and 1 and 4 here, right? So the first place instance, this one, this is 0th place. Okay, this is the first place, and it will remove the 4, and it will remove this 1 2, and it will remove this 14, which is in the 3rd place, and it won't remove the 4th one, which means until 4. It won't remove the 4, but until 4. Okay, until 4, how many elements were there inside this particular things, it will remove that contents. Okay, that is the remove range. We will also have get range, set range. Likewise, we have so many things. We will see one by one. Okay, so this is the thing, and this is the one of the modification, and we are able to do in our lists. So I'm removing this. So let us see the set range. Okay, so box dot set range. Inside the set range, we need to specify the start and end and that particular list. Okay, so let me tell you, from the 0 to 4, okay, put this list like 100, 101, 111, 112, 113. Likewise, I have specified 4 values, right? So I'm running this. See, from the first index onwards, it's replacing the values from the list. Okay, able to understand? So it won't take the fourth index. Okay, let me tell you, if I put 3 here, and I'm able to assign only 3 values, but I have 4 values, right? So let us see what it will do. So it won't take the last value. Okay, until the particular index, it will assign this value. so it won't take another things. Okay, so if I have additional elements like additional index like 6, let us see what it will do. So the error will occur. Okay, because we have only 4 values, but it's telling us to assign for 5 values, so it won't allow us. So we will get an error here. So you have a clear understanding on this concept, but this particular remove range, set range, these things and all we won't use in regular. Okay, we will use add all, clear, and the remove also we will use in very, how do we say, that is very rare. Okay, so add all and clear, these things and all we will use in regular. And we can also find the particular things and we can remove. For example, let me tell you, box dot where remove where. Okay, remove where, this particular where conditions refers to, it will act as a for loop. Okay, so it will go to each and every elements and it will check to this condition and it will perform. Okay, for example, let me tell you, this particular elements is referred to each and every elements in the list. Okay, so this particular element is equal to 13 or 15, however you wish. Okay, then I'm placing a semicolon here. So I'm running again. So in this case, what it will do in sense, it will go to that list with the where condition. It will point every and each and every element in that particular list. Let me run again. Yeah, it will go to that list. It will point to each and every element from the list and it will check if the condition is true. It will remove that particular things. For example, here we have a list. Here we have 15. Through the where condition, it will go to each and every elements and it will check the element is equal to 15 and it will remove that one. Okay, for example, let me tell you, if I put 14, we have two 14s here. With the remove option, only one 14 will get removed, right? So with the remove where option, it will remove every 14 which is available on that list. Let me run this. So see, we have two 14s. The two 14s got removed. Okay, this is the case. And I hope this modifications helps you to find things. And we can also have a retain. Retain in sense, according to the condition, it will retains the value. It will brings that value and remove everything. Let me run this. Yeah, see, according to this particular condition, it will retain what are all the values in 14 and remove everything from the list. Okay, that is the retain. That is the difference between the remove where and retain where. For example, remove will remove according to our condition and retain will retain that particular value and remove other things. Okay, that is the case. Yeah, guys, I hope this particular things help you to find about the modification of list. And then we also have some special functionalities. We will see about it. So now we're going to see about the list properties and functions which are returning value. Whatever we have seen for now is like that will modify the actual list. Okay, but whatever we are seeing from now, it's been like we were able to create one list from another list. Likewise, it will return some list. Okay, but it won't modify the existing one. Okay, let us see from the first one. Let me remove everything. Should contain at least 7 values. Random values. That is not so mean. Okay. Here we have list box. The first condition is like any. Okay. let's go on with the alphabetical things. Okay, let's go with any. In any instance, this is also refers to as, we have seen about the where, right? So this will go to each and every elements. Okay, each and every elements, and it will find the conditions we are going to give here. For example, let me tell you, each and every element is a divisible of 2. This is a divisible of 2 formula. Through this formula, we were able to check if the particular element is divisible by 2 or not, if that is an even number or not. Okay, so let me print this one. We're able to print this value, so which means this particular anything is going to return a boolean. Okay, so again F5, that is true, because in this particular list 4, 56, 78, 90, these are all even numbers, right? So that will be a divisible of 2. So the condition satisfied, which means any instance, any of the particular elements in the list that is divisible or not. Okay, you can also specify like this: if any element is equal to 90, likewise. Yes, actually we have 190 here. So again I'm pressing F5. So I were able to get true. But if I put 190, the particular list doesn't have 190. So definitely I will get false. Right? That is a speciality of any. In some cases, we will use this any property to check the particular list has the things or not. Okay, so the another one is every. Every is very similar to the any, but every element in that particular list should satisfy the condition. Okay, for example, the element is divisible by 2 is equal to 0, which means the even number formula. Okay, so let me run this. Definitely it is a false, because we have odd numbers too, like 5, 40, 89, 17. Likewise, we have odd numbers. Okay, if the particular list only contain even numbers, so definitely the every condition will get satisfied. Okay, in some conditions we will use this every. Okay, so and also we have contain. Contain in sense the particular list has that element or not. Contains 78, which means we are checking with that particular value. Okay, the particular list has this particular value or not. Again I'm pressing F5. Definitely it's going to be a true, because the list has 78. Now let me put 100. The list have no hundreds, so definitely it will be a false. So in rare cases we use contain also. Okay, then the index of and the element that, likewise we have some properties. Let us check. These things will return a particular value. Okay, but it won't make any changes on the actual list, whatever I'm doing now. Okay, so check box, list box, check box, and we have a property index of. We are able to find index of 100, which means the 100 doesn't exist in this particular list, right? So if I'm trying to run this, I were able to get a -1, because the list doesn't have 100, right? If I put 90, I'm able to get the index of 90 as 2, which means I told you right, the index starts with 0, which means 0, 1, 2. The second place is a 90. That is what it's written. That is in a second place. Okay, so we have index of, and also we have index where. Index where, and since we were able to proceed with some conditions, like it will go to each and every elements and it will check if the particular element is equal to 90, likewise, yeah, index variant 100. If I have a duplicate content, another 90 after 176, again I'm running this, I will get to, it will get the first value for us. And you can, need to mention about the equals condition, because the index of will do the same thing. Okay, you can proceed with some other things, like if the element is divisible by 5 or divisible by 90, likewise we were able to do some operations over here. Okay, this is just an integer list. You can also try this particular list with a string, boolean, and also double values. Okay, so that is the case. And if you want a last value of 90, you can also do the index last index of last where. Okay, so you can proceed with the condition with the index of and last index of. It will provide a particular index with the value we have given. Okay, the where conditions will check according to our boolean condition here, according to the even numbers or odd numbers that is divisible by 100 or 90 or 9 tables. Likewise, it will check according to the conditions we are giving. Okay, so we have these things here. So we won't use it in regular, these things and all, but to know about the things, that is very important. Okay, so we have list box dot index element at, okay, element at the 0th place. This is also gonna return some values, so we need to print it and we need to see the value. F2, sorry, F5. So at the index of 0, we have 56, right? So the element will get the value from the index we are giving here. Okay, in some cases, we will use these things in the list view dot builder to represent each and every element from the list. And we can also proceed with square brackets, like 0th element. Okay, the element at and this particular things do the same thing. Okay, again F5. Okay, but in most of the cases we will use this type of things. Okay, the element that we will use it in rare case. Okay, so that is a thing. Let me talk about two more important functions. One is reduce and another one is fold. Okay, for example, if I want a total amount of this particular list items, I can go with the reduce, which means the reduce will return one specific type of that list. For example, this list contain an integer type, right? So the reduce will return a int type of value. Okay, so let me try the list box dot reduce. Okay, from this value, which means this is the previous value and this is the current element. Likewise, it will process. Okay, for example, if the particular value is initially a 0, previous value is 0, the current element is 56, it will process like um, value plus element. Okay, I'm printing this. So in this process, it will sum everything from the list. Okay, so initially it may be a 0 and the current element will be a 56, and 0 plus 56 it may be a 56 again. So value will be 56 and the another element will be a 78. Likewise, it will goes on until the length of that particular list item. So it may be a tricky thing, but you need to understand. Okay, so the another one is a fold. Okay, the fold is the thing we can have an initial amount. For example, if you are totaling something, we have GST tax and we have so many taxes there, right? So we can add up as a constant value 120, or delivery charges, that is according to you. Okay, so while using the fold, we need to mention the type of the returning value, like integer or any other thing. Okay, so with the help of the fold and reduce, we were able to get a single value, which means we can, according to the operations performed, we were able to do this while working with the e-commerce application. Likewise, in e-commerce application, we were able to add the products, right? So while adding the products, we were able to get the total amounts in down. So we were achieve these things with the help of the reduce and the fold. Okay, so I hope you understand this concept. And another very important concept is where condition. Okay, we were able to create one list with the help of the condition, where the element dot or element modulus of 2 is equal to 0, which means it will contain a new list from the existing list. Okay, let me run this F5. So each and everything is a even number. Let me put one odd number here again. So see, the 89 is excluded. Okay, so we have where condition. According to this, every elements will be get pointed and will check according to this condition. Okay, this will also, it's been like retain and remove, but retain and remove where it's actually change that list, but the where condition will create another list. This particular list doesn't affect the original list. For example, we have printed where condition here, right? So in the next step itself, if I try to print the list box, I'm running this thing, the actual list won't get any changes. Okay, the actual list remains the same, but this particular where conditions create a new list. Okay, we were able to assign this particular list to any other list. Okay, so you need to have some concern about it. Actually, that is what happening. Okay, so it won't create changes in the actual list, but it will create a new list according to the where condition. Okay, that is the case. So the another thing is a join. Join instance, we were able to convert this particular list to a string. Okay, for example, let me tell you, which means that will return a string that won't make any changes in the actual list. Okay, so join here, you need to mention, like first I'm gonna run this. Okay, let us tell you. So it will be like a collapsed one. Okay, we can place a separator here, like comma or star, however we wish. Okay, and again I'm running this application. So I'm able to get all the elements in the list with the separator I have given here. So this is a one, and this will return a string, but this is also won't make any changes in the actual list. Okay, if you want to make something that make reflect on the actual list, you can put like list box is equal to, and then a where condition, list box dot where here element modulus of 2, which means the basic thing we can do with the integer. Okay, And then this is a list, right? So we need to specify a to list property or a from list property. The two things will work out because this particular to list will help the particular thing to convert as a list. F5. Okay, so it won't get an additional of odd numbers in that particular things. Okay, but we were also able to do a from list. For example, dot from. Okay, again F5. This two list and list from, these things will do the same thing. Okay, so that is the thing. We are creating a list from the another list. That is the case. And yeah, and we have two more important concepts. Okay, the last one is map. Okay, the map instance, we were able to do something with that list. For example, we can handle each and every element. We can change that each and every element. For example, let me tell you, box dot map. Inside the map, the e is refers to each and every element. If I run this line, this particular things will run until the list ends. Okay, so e star 2, which means that each and every element should multiple of 2. Okay, I'm running this application. I will get a things, right? So each and every element is got multiple by 2. But if we want to assign this particular map to any other list, we need to proceed with two lists. For example, let me tell you, list box is equal to the same thing, list box dot to list or the list from, anything you can use. Okay, these things perform the same, to list or list from. Again, I'm running this application, F5. Here we are reassigning the list values, but you can do like, you can create an another list, empty list. This may be an empty list, and you can assign this particular value to this empty list. Okay, so that the actual list won't get any changes and you have the new values in your new list. F5. See, this is our actual list and this is our new list. So with the help of the map, we were able to do some changes in each and every elements. Okay, the another one is of last one of for each property. The for each property instance, we were able to print or do some operations with each and every elements. Okay, this is the element from the for each property, and now I am printing each and every element. F5. So each and every elements will get printed. Okay, if I put a integer like sum is equal to 0, and if I want things to get added additionally, like we have done something in reduce and fold, right? So we were able to do here, sum is equal to sum plus that element. This particular for in, it's recommended by the editor itself instead of for each. These two things will do the same thing. Okay, then I'm printing the sum here. I'm running this project. I will get sum of everything. Okay, so likewise we can able to do. So likewise I said this particular for each properties and all we won't use it in regular. Okay, we use where condition in regular, like index of element at and length property. Likewise we will use the importance things in regular. The last one, this particular widget, sorry, this particular list function, we will use it in widgets also. Okay, which is a list generator. Okay, we have an empty list. We can able to do the things like list dot generate, and we need to specify the length, and we need to specify what value is that. Okay, which means if I put the 0, it will generate 12 zeros. Let me print that one. List 2. I will get 12 zeros. We have index here. The index represents 0 to the particular length of that, before the length of that actual list. Okay, so if I try to assign the index to a list value, I will get value like this. So that's it, guys. Okay, with the help of the listed dot generator, we were able to generate widgets also. So this is very important, or this is very helpful when we are working with the Flutter widgets. So just practice these things, and that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this content. If you have any other doubts, kindly comment down, and you can also contact me and join me through the mentorship.